Welcome, everyone, to a brand new edition of the MSG 150 Final. Great to have you with us. As always, we got a lot of great stuff coming your way over the next 30 minutes. Remembering Kobe. We're also going to talk about the Lakers and Clippers game being postponed tonight. Jay Wright, Villanova's coach, is going to join us to talk about Kobe and also his Wildcats basketball team. And Brandon Jacobs, a former Giants running back, will also join us. So a lot of great stuff coming your way. We say hello to Monica McNutt. We say hello to Cam Smith. Wally Zerbiak back with us. A reminder, Kobe's 61-point game that he scored here in 2009, February the 2nd, 2009, is coming up right after this show. And, of course, the big story, guys, continues to be trying to process what happened and not playing tonight, Monica, at Staples with the Lakers and the Clippers postponing that game. I think they could have gone either way. You could have made the point that Kobe would have wanted that game to be played, but you can also say that you can't play because all the grieving that's going on in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, I have no issue with that decision.
I think either way, they would have been okay.
I actually think that this probably was the right decision for that organization. As you listen to different reporters and folks close to that organization over the years, and you've heard this even before this tragedy, that's very much run like a family organization. And I think the weight of it probably impacts them on levels that we can't grasp either. And so all that goes into a game production, I think there were so many people probably affected by it, obviously.
Yeah, like the rest of the world, I think we're all still in disbelief. I'm still waiting for that news to break to say this was not true, that it was just a big hoax. Obviously, that's not reality. But you think about just the mental side of this for these players, having to play these games and all of these guys with close relationships with Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, even LeBron James, and we saw the footage of him after the Lakers landed back in L.A. and just him being so emotional because, of course, given the history that happened this past weekend with him moving ahead of Kobe on the NBA's all-time scoring list, it's a lot for not even just the basketball world, but the entire world because Kobe stretched beyond basketball with his legacy.
Yeah, they absolutely should not have played that game. It's just too much. Rob Pelinka was Kobe Bryant's godfather, very close to the family.
Agent and godfather to his daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Godfather to his daughter, exactly. So there's no way that I think that game should have been played. It's going to take a lot of time for a lot of guys to process through this. You got to remember Kobe Bryant, you know, he stretched all over the NBA because of USA basketball. I mean, he was teammates with LeBron, he was teammates with Chris Paul, he was teammates with all these guys. And, you know, when you get that news, in order to go out there and play a basketball game, your head's just not going to be right. And you need to get your head right first and foremost, because that can lead to an injury, something happening that's going to, you know, lead to ramifications down the road. So I just think players need to take their time. When they're right, they will know. You will know when it's your time, when you can get back out there on the basketball floor. They can reschedule that Lakers-Clippers game for another time, and it's just a tough time. And I just think as time goes on, the more you see the remembrances, the more you see the pictures and the videos, it just sinks deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And for a lot of people, it's going to take a long time to get over this.
Staples Center's basically become a shrine.
Yep.
And, you know, Sunday was when the crash occurred, and they had to hold the Grammys that night at Staples Center. And you look at the outpouring of support. And, of course, Kobe played his entire 20 years in Los Angeles with one team, the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, you know, Magic came out and said he's the greatest Laker of all time. I mean, he had that kind of impact on the whole community. He's been very active in the community. He's raised his family there. I mean, this transcends basketball, as we have talked about, when it comes to fathers and daughters and just the normalcy of trying to be a father and taking his daughter to a basketball game. And it just, to me, it's very hard to identify with you guys who played at the high level, played professional basketball, but most of us can identify with the father and the daughter and the family. That's what it's all about. That's what I think has made this even worse.
And that's the side that we really started to see from Kobe. Like, we know him for his ferocity on the court and being an iconic player in the league, but you start to see this second act for him, and passing away at 41 years old, but you see the pictures with his daughters and how much joy he had with coaching his Mamba team. It was something that, you know, it was something that you didn't see before. Like, you saw him really beginning to enjoy life. And that's something that he looked forward to, as you hear a lot of his interviews and a lot of his sound bites when he got closer to his retirement, that he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Now, he is eligible, or was eligible, for the first time this year to be elected into the Hall of Fame. That was obviously going to be a lock, and no question he is going to go in with Duncan and Garnett. And obviously it's going to be a very emotional scene come induction day over the summer in Springfield, Mass, when Kobe Bryant goes in with Duncan and Garnett. And that's obviously going to be very difficult.
Yeah. It's going to be one of the greatest classes of all time. When you look at those three names that are going to be inducted, it's going to be very strange not having Kobe Bryant there. I know it's going to be very hard on Kevin Garnett, my former teammate, who battled with Kobe, had a lot of respect with Kobe, played with him on Team USA, and I can speak to Kevin Garnett how close they were. They were really close as adversaries in between the lines, but then off the court they were really good friends, Kobe and KG, and then Tim Duncan was the same way. Those two were two of the greatest in my era. With all the championships that they won, they each won 5 championships. So it's just. There's going to be more and more layers that keep coming, and it just keeps blowing your mind that this happened, like you said, Cam, and it's just going to keep hitting us in different ways for a long time, and it's just such an unimaginable tragedy. It really is.
I think it's unimaginable. That's the perfect word, Wally. But for me, in terms of what Kobe was beginning to do as far as women's basketball and the excitement, enthusiasm around Gianna and her potential, it feels like multiple generations were robbed in a way. I think we are on the precipice of seeing women's basketball take off and bloom in a way that we have not seen in recent history. And there's no doubt in my mind that that young woman would have been a huge part of it. And the way that generation of kids consumes and connects through the game using their phones and their devices, I think our friends over at Overtime, Cam, like the way that her peers have taken time away and mourned her or are mourning her, and even UConn women's basketball on Monday night versus the Team USA hopefuls putting a jersey aside for her. It's just such a layered tragedy all around.